Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Anchorage Ice Tigers Draft to Glory MyNBA here in NBA 2K26. So last episode, if you did not catch it, you could see we had the second round of playoffs, and we managed to beat the New Orleans Pelicans in 6 games. It was kind of a tough series because we took a 2-0 series lead, then had 2 rough games in New Orleans, but managed to bounce back with 2 straight wins. The worst game of that series for us, obviously, we lost by, I think it was like close to 50 points, so it was a really rough series in a way for us because obviously it wasn't as easy as the Lakers, but we kind of expected it considering they were the 4th best team in the league, or at least in the Western Conference, I should say. So this next matchup is going to be pretty tough because we are rematching up against Dallas. Last year we played against Dallas in the first round and they managed to take a sweep on us, which is not great. They do have a bit of a better looking roster, I feel like, in a way than last year. Some things are a little bit worse probably, but they have some new faces on their team and they were the 2nd best team in the Western Conference. So this is going to be a very tough matchup to see who gets to the finals. Obviously, whoever gets to the finals will likely have to play against Philadelphia, who has won back-to-back championships, because I don't think there's really a way for Charlotte to beat them. Then again, Charlotte did knock out Indiana, and they also knocked out Washington. So Charlotte's on a little bit of a crazy run right now. I'm kind of surprised they've gotten this far because I'm pretty sure they haven't really been drafting and developing players super well as of late, but I could be wrong with that. So it's going to be interesting to see who ends up getting to the finals, but hopefully it's us so we could actually have a chance at winning the NBA title this year. It's been a really good playoffs for the most part, except for, like I said, a couple games in that round against New Orleans kind of weren't the best. But I do expect our team to play hopefully really good against this Dallas team. But like I said, they did beat us last year, so there's a little bit of nerves in this series. But you could see basically in the first round of playoffs, basically we got some good offense from Evans and Wright mostly. There was also guys like Carroll who stepped up. But then in basically round number 2, you could see that Rex Wright was one of our better players as well at 16.5 points. But we did get a little bit more depth scoring because Semenko returned. Evans' point production definitely dropped off a little bit, 21.7 points per game in that series, or total, I should say. If we literally just go to his game-by-game stats, you could definitely see he didn't do as well against New Orleans as he did against the Lakers, because against the Lakers, he was dropping like 38-point games. The first game against New Orleans, he only dropped 18, then 25, then 15 and 10 in these 2 losses, which is pretty insane. And these last 2 games, it looks like he's got his offense back at 32 and 30, so I think the way for us to win games is to make sure Evans is on his game, and then hopefully we could find a way to contain Cooper Flagg, because if we go on over to the stats from the Mavericks, you can see Cooper Flagg is their main cause of offense with 25.5 points per game. Then you also have Cam Whitmore, who's been good. Roland Ryan's been pretty solid as well, and then Cam Christie at 12.7 in that last round. So got to watch out for that. If we go through their entire playoffs, you can see that they've been getting some good offense throughout most of their lineup. They do have a lot of guys over 10 points, so I'm hoping that our bench could actually do well as well, because obviously it looks like their bench could put up some decent points for lower end minutes. Like this guy's averaging 11.8 points per game in 19.4 minutes, which is not too bad at all. So it should be a tough series. If we also actually go on over to the team comparison area, which we haven't looked at in a little bit, it should be, I feel like, a decently balanced series, as we could see here. Basically, all of both teams have really good strengths. You can see they're not fully great at layups, offensive IQ, and ball handling, but they're still really good at it. They do have some weaknesses in vertical and steals, which we have no weaknesses, so maybe that's a good thing. And then if we go to matchup report, you can see their average on basically mid-range and 3-point shooting, as well as perimeter defense. Then they're excellent at 3-point shooting. They are, and perimeter defense it says as well, I guess, technically. Then post defense and layups, they are great. And then they're excellent on post defense, low post offense, and rebounding. Meanwhile, for us, we're excellent on everything except for perimeter defense / 3-point shooting. That's an A-. So it's going to be really interesting to see who ends up being the better of the 2 on these. Apparently, the last time we played them, we end up losing, it looks like, by 1 point. So I'm a little bit nervous because of that. But the spread consensus pick, I don't know if that's based on the playoffs or the regular season. It has us. The last time we played against them was December 17th, so it's been quite a while at this point. And then you can see the projected lineups. So obviously we have Wright, Carroll, Evans, Semenko, and Bishop. They have Ryan, Whitmore, Flagg, George, and Towns. So kind of interesting there. It also does have a nice little comparison on who's the better player on each type there. You can see Points per game, basically, it's Evans versus Flagg on that front. And then you have assists per game, it's Wright versus Flagg. Rebounds per game, it's Bishop versus Flagg. Blocks per game, it's Flagg versus Bishop. And then steals per game, it's Evans versus Flagg. So Flagg is literally their best player in every single area right now, which means if we can contain him, we definitely have a good chance at winning. And you can see also the stat rankings and all that stuff where they were really good at compared to us. Looks like they were really good at three-point efficiency. They were number 1 on that area. We were 3rd, but in general, they actually were pretty good in some areas. Like rebounds, they were 2nd. It looks like defensive rebounds, they were 2nd. Offensive rebounds, they were 4th. So I'm a little bit nervous that they could out-rebound us in a way, but should be a pretty balanced series. But then again, last time we played them in the playoffs, we got swept. And obviously, I don't know if that's going to happen again here. Hopefully it doesn't, because I really like to get to a finals, even if it's against a really tough Philadelphia team, which I feel like is likely the case. But anyways, before we get into the series, let's get in your guys' comments, see what you guys have to say about last episode, and then we will see what we could do against the Dallas Mavericks. So the first and only comment is from Nick Baca-Barons OC, who says, NBA Finals win is the only satisfying result we could have. And I mean, I would say, yeah, I mean, if we get to a finals and lose, I feel like it's still satisfying that we'd be able to get to a finals. But obviously the win the finals would be absolutely amazing. So I'm really hoping that this team has enough in it to beat a team like Dallas, because it's been a kind of a weird playoffs for us. We had a really good, like I said, opening round. Second round, not so much. If we actually go to team stats for the entire playoffs as well, you can see right now the best team in terms of the playoffs is the 76ers. They're 8-1, we're 8-2. The Mavericks are also 8-2 in the playoffs, but you can see that they're averaging less points per game than us, but they are allowing way less points per game than us. Where our defensive play hasn't been that great in the playoffs, we're allowing around 116 points per game. That's probably because a couple bad games against New Orleans, but the Mavericks are only allowing 106.2. So they are the second best defensive team that's left in this playoffs. So, and the Hornets are actually allowing more than they're scoring. So I'm kind of surprised the Hornets are where they are, but the Hornets are kind of an underdog team. If they somehow get to a finals and knock out the 76ers, and we get to a finals, we should have an easy route to win that cup. But if the Mavericks obviously find a way to play hard against us and beat us, then I would say the 76ers are going to somehow find a way to win, or the Mavericks, obviously. But looks like both those two teams have been really good defensively, especially the 76ers. And then you can see like a lot of other comparison. We're like one of the best in terms of field goal percentage, 3-point percentage. We're up there as well. The Mavericks are up there. Like I feel like this is going to be a pretty close series. But like I said last year, obviously I'm a little bit skeptical about how we got swept by them. But they do have a bit of a different lineup than last year. Like we already looked at their starting rotation. Their depth options and stuff like that are pretty solid too. Like you can see there's Behringer from last year, Sean Oliver, Stuart Hughes. So like they do have some decent bench guys on this team as well. So hopefully we can find a way to beat them and find ourselves in a finals. So with that said, I think we're ready to get into this matchup. I think the minutes should be good. Let me just double check here before we get into this matchup. There is some guys getting a little bit tired. Looks like Rex Wright got moved to point guard. Did I do that last episode? I might have moved him to point guard. I don't remember. I think I did. Guess because I wasn't too sure what was going wrong with the team, so I moved Rex Wright to point guard. I think that's fine to keep it like that. So let's get to game number 1. We obviously have home court advantage. Let's see if we could use it to our advantage and if we could find a way to win this series potentially. Obviously, like I said, last round we won the first 2 games against New Orleans, but then they stomped back with 2 wins of their own. So I'm hoping that our team doesn't go on a little bit of a skid like that again in the series. But it's probably going to be one of those series that go to 7 games, I feel like, just based on how these teams compare to one another. So it's basically Evans versus Flagg at this point. Let's see what happens. First quarter underway. Let's see what happens. Hopefully we can get off to a good start here, because if teams play great defensively against us, that's when we're going to have a tough time obviously staying in games. And so far, we're not really generating a ton of offense, as it looks like Dallas is trying to build up a lead, but we're trying to build our way back into this game. Looks like we're trying to make sure that they don't get too far ahead, but they are quite far ahead early on in this one, which I don't like. But like I said, at least we're not letting them get too far ahead, which they're almost around 10 points ahead, which is not great. And at the end of the first, it will be a score of 34-26, so it's an 8-point game. I don't like that they're continuing our offense early. That's been one thing that I've been worried about too, is because against New Orleans, we weren't really scoring a ton against them in some quarters. They were keeping us to under 30 points. But that's a bit of a slow start for our team. Dallas is a good defensive team. They, like I said, they allow on average 106 points per game. So if they play strong like that against us, that's going to be problematic. But so far, Evans and Goodwin leading away with 6 points. We have Westbrook and Carroll on 5, Wright's on 4, and then which Carroll is this? Oh, that's Everett Carroll. Okay, so the bench Carroll has been the better two of the two, which is kind of weird. Semenko's got no points, so I need Carroll, Semenko, and Bishop to pick up some points because so far those guys have been quiet. Also, it'd be nice if Lloyd and Washburn could get some points off the bench as well, but a little bit of a slow start. Let's hopefully have a good second quarter and maybe make this game a little bit closer, at least going into the second half. So, second quarter underway. Come on, boys. Let's get our offense going because obviously if they suffocate us too much, that's where we're going to end up losing games. And I do not really want to be losing to Dallas again after what happened last year. Last year was disappointing to say the least. So we got to have a good run here. And we're getting back in this game. We have taken the lead. Nice little run for the team as we were trailing for a good amount of it. But now we're actually at that back and forth stage, which is better than obviously trailing by 10. It's still very close though, neck and neck near the end of this second quarter. And at the end of the second, it will be 60-51 for us. So that's a fantastic quarter. We got our offense going. They didn't play their defensive style as we outscored them 34-17. So doubled them up in points. And we do have a big 9-point lead going into the second half. But obviously still a lot of time to go. Wow, Goodwin's leading our team in points. Was not expecting that. Goodwin's having a fantastic game of 17 points through 10 minutes. And he's shooting 7 for 8 right now. He hasn't thrown up a 3-point shot yet, but he's been awesome in the early going. That's a big part of why we're winning this game. Rex Wright's on 11 now. Westbrook's on 10. Evans is on 9. Carroll's on 5 still. That's the other Carroll, right? Yeah, that's still Edward. Semenko's on 4. Everett Carroll's only got 2 points, but he's got 4 rebounds and 4 assists. But he needs to find that offensive game because his offense has not been that great, really, because he's averaging under 20 points a game, which you'd think he'd get around 20 points a game. And you have Bishop on 2 points as well, only 5 rebounds. So I need a little bit more out of Bishop. Lloyd has nothing off the bench, and same with Washburn. So the main reason why we're winning this game right now is probably because of Goodwin. We are shooting 60%. They're shooting 40%. We're 1 for 9 from 3-point range. That's got to improve if we want to hold on to this win. And so far, we've had more trips to the free throw line than they have, but they are perfect at the moment. All right. Well, we could still win this game. We have the lead, of course, but I need to make sure that my major guys, not just Goodwin, step up here. Goodwin's a great player and all, but we need obviously our top guys that are in our rotation to be putting up a lot of points. So I need a little bit more out of guys like Everett Carroll, especially as we go through the rest of this game. So third quarter underway. We have the lead now. Can we find a way to keep building on that? And can we get our starters to keep on going a little bit more here as they are trying to build back into this game, the Mavericks, but we're making sure that they can't get too close as we still have an 8-point lead, make that a 9-point lead. But obviously this game is still far from over, so we got to be careful. Got to be careful. There you go. We're picking up some points. I think I just saw we got a 3 ball, so that's good at least to see. But we're still only up by not that much points, so we just got to keep our foot on the gas as they're only down by 3 now. This is a very close game all of a sudden. And at the end of the third, it's going to be a 90-88 game. Damn. 2-point game all of a sudden. I'm a little bit scared. They outscored us in the third, so far it's been a very, very back and forth type of game. Rex is up to 19 points. Westbrook's on 18, so they had a really good quarter. Goodwin did not pick up any points in that third, but that's okay. He only played like 2 minutes, I think, in that quarter. Evans is on 16, so he's figuring out his offense a bit more. Semenko is only on 8. Carroll's only on 5. I need a little bit more from Semenko and Carroll. And then Bishop has 12 rebounds. That's good. At least he's rebounding because obviously that's a major reason why he's in our lineup. But only 2 points is really, really low for a starter. And then nothing still from Lloyd and Washburn. So I need a couple starters to still step up. We're only up by 2. This is anybody's game going into the fourth. Let's find out if we can find a way to hold them off or if this is going to be one of those type of games that maybe goes to overtime. It's been really close all game pretty much. Let's have a good fourth quarter here, boys. And let's get a lot more points on the board. Fourth quarter underway. Let's get that big lead as they've taken the lead back. Damn it. That's not good. We got to stick with them, though, guys. We can't let them go on a run here, which they kind of are going on a little bit of a run, but we're sticking close. But we're now kind of stumbling a little bit on offense as we're down by 5 or more points. Oh no. It looks like we might lose this one because we're down by 10 with 2:52 to go. These last two quarters have not been great. I knew eventually that ball percentage would hurt us a little bit because we were only 1 for 11, it said, at halftime. And if we would have hit more, obviously, we could have definitely had a closer game right now. But we can't allow them to get pretty much any more points. We need to go on a big run here late in this game. Let's see if we could do that. As they're getting points, looks like we're maybe fouling them a little bit. We're still trying to hang in, but it's probably too little too late at this point. Yeah, we're down by 11 points with less than a minute. Yeah, this is over at this point. I don't think there's a way we're going to come back. That's unfortunate. Well, a bad last third and fourth quarter. And the Dallas Mavericks are going to take a game in our building, which means we got to take a game in their building. As unfortunately, we still have not found a way to beat Dallas in a playoff matchup, as they beat us 126 to 115. But yeah, that 3-point percentage is definitely what lost us that game, probably. Also, the fact that we didn't have a 30-point player, but Evans ended up finishing as the team leader in points, so Evans was doing as much as he could. 25 points, right on 21, Westbrook on 20. Goodwin had 19, he was fantastic. Carroll had 13, so it looks like he started to step it up later in the game, but Carroll to me has been probably one of the more disappointing players as of late. 13, 8, 18, and 17. Like, the 18 and 17 is good, but 8 points and a win, you would think he would do a little bit more than that. Semenko had 8. We had Carroll on 5. Bishop had 16 rebounds. I mean, he was great on the glass, but 4 points is not enough. And then Lloyd and Washburn didn't do a single thing. I'm guessing it came down to the 3-point percentage. Yes, pretty much. Because we shot 25% from 3-point range. They shot 47. And that's the difference in the match, basically. They had 45 bench points to our 44. So both teams had some good bench points. But like I said, unfortunately for us, the main reason we lost that game is not from our rebounding. It's because of the fact that we just could not hit a 3-point shot. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate, especially with it being on home court. Well, Dallas takes the first game. Like I said, I think this could be still a really close series, but obviously now we got to find a way to make sure we win at least a game in Dallas when we get there. But I've not been impressed really with Carroll, to be honest. But I don't really know if there's much else I could do to get this reorganized. Maybe I could move Semenko to shooting guard. How is his 3-point shooting again? I know he's not technically a shooting guard, but I'm pretty sure he's a good 3-point shooter, right? Let's see. How's his 3-point percentage? How is his 3-point percentage? Where do I take a look at this? Thought it would say it here. Oh, it's probably all the way over here, right? 3 points attempted. Where's the 3-point percentage? Or am I just blind? I just want to make sure that we're putting a guy in a spot that he could actually achieve some stuff. Oh, there it is. Playoffs so far, his 3-point percentage has actually been atrocious. He's only shooting just under 21%. Or right around 21%. Regular season, it was a 4-13, but Semenko's having a bit of a tough time right now. Maybe I'll move Evans back to that power forward spot. I honestly don't know if that would make a difference. Let's get Carroll back on point guard because he's kind of struggling as a shooting guard. And then Rex Wright can play back on shooting guard again. Bishop will keep at center. Westbrook will obviously still come off the bench. Same with Goodwin. And the rest of this will probably stay the same. I want a little bit more out of Lloyd a bit if he can. Maybe I should get Bridges in over Washburn. Let's just swap the two of them just to see if Bridges could drive us some offense off the bench a bit. But, yeah, also I think Bridges is good at rebounding, if I remember right, too. So maybe that could help us a bit more on the glass against players like Cooper a bit. So, tough first game, but we knew it was not going to be an easy series. Apparently, Charlotte's up 1-0 on Philadelphia. So, if Charlotte gets to a finals against Dallas, Dallas is winning the championship. If Charlotte gets to a finals against us, we're winning the championship, I think. And if Philadelphia gets to the finals, I think they're beating whoever they're facing, basically. That's my guess right now, just because Philadelphia is so good. But I don't know how Charlotte's going on the run that they are, but shout out to them for overachieving maybe this season. All right, well, let's get to game number 2. Tough first loss. We had a good quarter at one point, but unfortunately for us, it fell apart in that last 2 quarters. So we got to definitely play a more consistent game throughout the entire game, and hopefully that could happen in this one. So first quarter on the way of game 2. Let's get off to a better start. If this menu would stop opening up because of this controller drift, it's really rigging annoying. And we're off to a good start here, getting the first few points of the game mostly, but they have not scored really at any at all, so we're off to a good start defensively too, but it's still pretty close, of course. Not really a high-scoring first quarter at this point in time, but will some team run away? we're kind of running away with it a bit here early, but obviously it's a long game, as now they're clawing back into it with a couple 3-point shots, which is not ideal. And at the end of the first, it's going to be 19-16. So only a 3-point game. At one point, it looked like we were going to run away with it because we were up like 19-8, I think, or not 19-8, maybe it was 16-8, something like that. But then our team slowed down a lot. Carroll dropped 5 points. Evans is on 4 already. Westbrook's on 3. Bridges is on 3 off the bench. That's why I put him in, maybe. Wright on 2. Goodwin on 2. Semenko's got nothing. Same with Bishop. Yeah, a couple of our starters have been relatively disappointing in this playoffs a bit. Like, I've really liked how Evans has played. Carroll's having at least a good start to this one. Westbrook's been solid. But, and Rex Wright has been solid. But, like, Semenko and Bishop have been pretty quiet. Bishop's not usually a hugely crazy offensive player, but Semenko, he was really good last round. But so far to start off this round against Dallas, he has been kind of quiet. Like, his 8 points last game were the lowest he had since that one game that we lost against him. So, if Semenko is not on his game, we lose games. If he's on his games is usually when we win. So, I need Dennis to step up here as the rest of this game goes on if possible. So, let's get to this second quarter and see if we can have a lead going into halftime again. And hopefully the second half is better than last time. But here we go. Second quarter underway. Come on, boys. We need to build up a nice lead here because obviously they are a good scoring team and they could come back out of nowhere. So we got to be careful not to give them any sort of momentum. And we need to make sure that they don't go on any runs or anything like that. So far, we're building up a decent lead here. Looks like late in this quarter. But obviously, it's still close. It's still close. We're still on a pretty damn good lead right now if we could keep this intact. Which at halftime, the score will be 51-41, a 10-point lead. We did have a 9-point lead last game, so we definitely could still blow this, of course. But that's a solid start. We outscored them 32-25 in the second. And like I said, we're up by 10. So far, Rex is having a really good start to this game. 12 points. Evans on 11. Carroll on 9. So I feel like Carroll is better for sure when he's playing as that point guard. When he's playing as a shooting guard, he doesn't do as well. Rex Wright looks like he's playing good as a shooting guard too. So that's good to see. Westbrook's on 6. Goodwin's on 6. Bridges is still on that 3. Semenko still only has 2. And then Bishop only has 2 still. So still want more from these two guys if possible. But it's nice that Bishop at least rebounds. But Semenko really has not been effective here to start off. So he's got to have a good second half to help us out. So far, we're shooting 42 to their 35. Our 3-point percentage has been a little bit better. Looks like theirs hasn't been that great either. So both teams are struggling from that 3-point line in this one. And in terms of free throws, they've been better than us, but we've shot the ball a lot more. So we've hit more attempts, but they've had 91 to our 68, which is not great. So we need to start hitting some more free throws or else that could cost us this game, which we have, like I said, a 10-point lead right now. So let's be careful in the second and let's build up a bigger lead so I could actually breathe a little bit more easily too. Third quarter underway. Man, I can barely speak. I feel like I'm playing NHL sometimes, but let's build up a big lead. Let's build up a big lead. And they're trying to claw back into this. This menu keeps on still opening up, which is really annoying. And this is getting close this game again. Oh my goodness. Come on, boys. Don't let them get back into it. They're getting momentum. They're getting a lot of momentum. And this game is tied. And they have taken the lead now. Oh my goodness. It's hard for us to hold on to leads against a team like Dallas. It really is. But this is a pretty high-scoring game almost, I feel like. Come on, boys. Let's get that lead before the end of the third if we can. And at the end of 3, we're down by 5 points. As we allowed them to score 38 points to our 23. That's one of our worst quarters probably in quite a while. Since the New Orleans series for sure. But I am not liking the way we're matching up right now against this Mavericks team. Like, we had the good first 2 quarters, but we only won the first quarter by 3 points. Second quarter was good. Third quarter was absolutely abysmal, though. And in terms of box score so far, Carroll and Wright are on 17 points apiece. Evans is on 15. But we're not really getting a ton from Westbrook this game. Semenko has been still pretty quiet. And then, of course, Bishop's still not really picking up a lot of points, but he's rebounding a ton. And then Lloyd has no points off the bench or Carroll. All right, well, we're still in this game, but our 3-point percentage has been pretty bad in this game again, which is not ideal. Our free throws have also maybe cost us this game so far. We're shooting 72% to their 81%. And in field goal percentage, we're 38% to their 45%. So We need to go on a good run here in this fourth quarter if we want to find a way to win this one, but Dallas is definitely a tough team. I didn't think they were going to be an easy team to beat, but it's kind of annoying that they're this good again because they beat us last year as a team that made the play-in round and beat us in a sweep. So let's see what happens anyways, fourth quarter, see if we could get back to this game being even again and maybe grab that lead. If we only win by 1 point, so be it, but we got to find a way to win this one because heading to Dallas down 0-2 would be absolutely detrimental. Let's see what happens. Fourth quarter underway. Come on, guys. We need to go on a good run. And so far, Dallas is getting points early, which is not great. And our offense is not doing enough here. Oh, my goodness. Come on, guys. We're starting to build back into it as the menu's trying to open up here. This is still a close game here. It's like almost one possession. But now they're building up that lead again, and this menu keeps on opening up still as we are down by 7. We're down by 5. We're down by 4 with 2:55. Do we want to jump in and watch? I know that would make the episode long. Let's go a little bit slower on the sim engine and see how it goes. Come on, guys. Can we hit this next points, please? Hey, we make it a 2-point game with 1:52. Okay, we're going to jump in for sure on this. It's a close enough game that it's worth jumping in for. So we're down by 2 with 1:52. Let's see if this team could tie it up and find a way to win. Last few times we've jumped in, our team has played pretty good. So we'll jump in and watch this and see if there's any way for our boys to pull out a win here on home court. Because like I said, if we find a way to win this one, at least that way we'll have a tie series headed to Dallas. If we lose this one, though, we got to find a way to win probably both games in Dallas. All right, here we go. We're down by 2 points. Let's make some good plays here, boys. Don't need to put up random shots, but make some good passes. Westbrook wide open for 3. He does not hit it. Are you kidding me? He's usually a really good 3-point shooter. He didn't need to shoot that yet, but that's an unfortunate miss here. All right, we need to play some good defense here, boys. We need to play some good defense. This might be the first time we've actually seen us on our home court. As Karl-Anthony Towns is running around, he's really slow, though. As the Dallas Mavericks throwing around the ball, they have to show up a shot. They miss it. That was short as we got possession back of the ball again. Here's Semenko for 3, and he hits. Big hit from Semenko with 1:13, and we're up by 1. That's a huge shot. Semenko, like I said, hasn't been shooting the 3 ball that well in the series, but that's our first lead of the night as we managed to rally back here in this fourth quarter. The question is now, can we play some good on-ball defense and find a way to get to the free throw line or something? They take a shot of their own. They miss that 3. That was a wide-open 3, too, as Carroll throws it up. Our fans are going electric with the lights in the crowd. Semenko will hold on to it, throws it to Westbrook. Over to Semenko, back to Westbrook. We cycle it around. Evans trying to drive in. Evans throws it up, misses, and Flagg gets the rebound. Of course he does. Oh my goodness, this is a crazy game. Okay, guys, big defense here. Big defense. Whitmore will shoot, and he'll hit? How does he hit that? He didn't even, I thought there was a hand in the face, as Whitmore has given Dallas back that 2-point lead. And we probably only have one more possession left. God damn it, man. If we would have played some better defense there, we could have definitely, at least got to the free throw line a bit afterwards, because they would have had to intentionally foul us, but that is one that we wish we had back already. God damn it. All right, we need to find a way to get some points here. It doesn't have to be a 3-point shot. It could be a 2-pointer, whatever it is, but we need to find a way to tie this one up. Somehow get this one to overtime at least. All right, inbound is Bishop. Let's see who he throws it to. He throws it to Rex. Rex throws it right into Carroll right away, and he puts it up, and this game's tied. That's a nice quick succession play. There's 24 seconds on the shot clock, 25 seconds left in the game, but that's a nice little drawn-up play by the coach. Quick passing, Rex Wright as a great assister, and Carroll has tied this one back up again as they've taken a timeout so they could advance the ball into the front court. All right, we need good defense here, boys. We need good defense, and then hopefully we could get possession of that ball afterwards. They're gonna definitely take their time with the shot, I think. But we need to be good on the on-ball defense. We're a good perimeter defense team. We could definitely play good here. As they're winding down the shot clock, trying to pass it around, Whitmore, he's dangerous on the 3 ball. He'll throw it in at Karl-Anthony Towns. Bishop will play on defense. They shoot up it and misses. And if they'll heave up a shot, oh my goodness, that would have been insane if he would have hit that. Because Bishop's not a 3-point shooter, but we're going to overtime in game 2 because of that quick ball play. It's 100-100. And yeah, damn, man. Oh, if we would have found a way to win on a heave from way in our own zone, that would have been insane. But this game's going to overtime. We've watched some overtimes before in the series, so Hopefully our team draws up some good plays here, and hopefully Overtime Evans could get himself going, because Overtime Evans is a different animal. As we win the tip-off. Nice. All right. If we could find a way to steal this game, like I said, we could definitely just win the series. Carroll will drive in with it. Carroll's having a strong game. He drives in and gets that layup. It's a 2-point game. Let's go. Carroll's definitely playing better in this one. I don't know if it's because he's better as point guard than shooting guard, but he's definitely shown that he could pick up points when it matters. Dallas trying to break our defense down. They throw it in to Karl-Anthony Towns, a strip, and Semenko gets possession of that ball. Huge turnover there by Dallas, and Semenko runs in. Semenko looking for a pass. He finds Bishop in there, and Bishop will get us a 4-point lead. That's a great pass and a good finish. Nice to see Bishop on the board, considering he doesn't really do a lot. But now we need to keep on playing some good defense here, and hopefully we can get some more points on the board for our team. All right, come on, guys. Play some good defense. Christie will shoot for 3, and he'll hit. Oh, my goodness. We're not playing that great on the perimeter defense right now. I've seen a couple 3 balls that I thought we should have probably been a little bit better at closing the gap, but this is a crazy game so far. Rex with it now. Rex will take his time. He's usually the type of guy that likes to run around. He'll shoot a 3 and he'll miss. But Bishop on the glass makes a big rebound and then he gets blocked. Oh no. Not Bishop, man. That was a great rebound, but then unfortunately for him, he doesn't have that offensive IQ really. And they'll try and shoot up another 3, but they miss. And we still got that 1-point lead. Jerome Evans throws it in. Rex right now. Rex. Surveying. He's fast as hell, man. Rex likes to run around all crazily. Nice pass. Evans for 3, and he'll miss that. Oh, man. How did Evans miss that? Evans is usually the type of player to hit all those shots. Cooper Flagg tries to run in, and he's fouled by Carroll. Carroll is fouled out. Oh, no. That's not good. Because Carroll had 26 points in this game. He's been really effective by comparison to Game 1. And unfortunately, he'll foul out, which means I don't know who comes in to replace him. But that's not a good play to take a foul at that play. I mean, at least it wasn't on the shot, but still. I don't really want to be fouling people in overtime unless we intentionally have to. They're cycling around. Hughes finds Cooper Flagg, a hand in the face, and no, he does not get it. Huge defensive play there. Semenko into Rex. Rex throws it into Evans. Evans will get it in. Nice. Yeah, Rex is really good at finding those passes, and Evans is always good at finding himself open for some great plays. Is brought by 3 again. All right, still a lot of time left in this overtime. Cooper Flagg's trying to find an opening. Flagg will drive in, throws it to Karl-Anthony Towns, and he misses. We're lucky that Cat is dropping off a lot, because if he wasn't dropping off, he could have hit that. Rex into Bishop. Bishop surveying. Bishop puts it up, and he gets it to go. Let's go, Bishop. 5-point game, as Bishop has a couple points in overtime. It was huge. Bishop is our big guy for those rebounds. A nice strip there, and Bishop can't get to it. Semenko will battle, and it's going to be a jump ball as both guys held on the ball, so it'll be Semenko jumping against Karl-Anthony Towns. I think that's a little bit of a height advantage for Cat. Yeah. Let's see if Semenko can win it, though. And he does. Nice. That's a big tip-off. All right, Westbrook. I guess Westbrook's technically playing for Carroll, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Here's Rex. Rex will survey. You guys can use all the shot clock if you want. Rex will drive in, throws a great pass. Look at the ball movement. Westbrook, wide open 3, bang. It's an 8-point game, and that might do it, potentially. That was some great ball movement. Rex always likes to look like he's going to go for a shot, and then he ends up passing it, and it ends up working out well. As Cat will miss another shot, Westbrook gets that rebound. As long as we wind down these shot clocks, I think we should be able to win this game, it looks like. Which is a huge comeback, and like I said, it will tie the series up, potentially headed to Dallas. And then hopefully in Dallas we can find ways to win close games like this as well. But this is a very close series up to this point. I know it's only game 2, but I wanted to watch this overtime and rest of regulation because you never know what could happen once you watch these games. Karl-Anthony Towns for 3. He'll miss that again. We're lucky that they've missed a lot of their 3s in overtime. Semenko will waste some time off the clock. Yeah, this game's probably over. They're not even intentionally fouling, which is surprising. Pass over. Rex will shoot for 3. He will hit it. That will definitely be the nail in the coffin, as we have taken a huger lead. I guess now that completes an 11-point lead. Before it was less than that, but yeah, this has been a great overtime for this team. Good last bit of regulation. And they get 2 points there to pull within 9, but yeah, great overtime for this team. And hopefully, like I said, we can find ways to win some of the next games. Looks like Philadelphia tied their series 126 to 104, I think it's it, or 124 106. Evans will put up another shot. He'll miss it. Bishop on the glass again. Gets blocked again. Poor Bishop, man. That guy just does not have the offensive IQ, but they'll shoot another shot. Whitmore will hit it, as it's only a 6-point game with 8.1. We got to be careful here not to lose this one, as they intentionally foul now. But I think we got enough points early on, as Christie is fouled out with 9 points. Yeah, we should be fine here, as long as we don't turn over this ball here. Come on, Bishop. Throw it in. There you go. Semenko is going to get intentionally fouled with 6.6, which means we'll have a trip to the free throw line. But being up by 6 points at this point should be good, as long as they don't hit like 3-pointer somehow out of nowhere and get that ball back right away. We should be pretty much good on this point. So let's see if Semenko could hit these. That'll obviously help things a bit. Will Semenko hit these free throws? He's usually, I think, a pretty good free throw shooter. I feel like most people on our team are, though. Semenko will hit the first shot, so there's the nail in the coffin, I think, because that makes it a 3-possession game. Will he hit his second attempt? Let's see. Come on, Dennis. Hit this. Yes, there you go. Perfect shots. And they take a timeout. I'm surprised that they're taking a timeout down by 8. Like, it's kind of pointless at this point in time for them, but this is a great answer by our team. Obviously, last game was a tough one, but it's good to see our team was actually able to respond in this game, because I thought for the longest time we were going to go down 0-2, but we had a really good last fourth quarter. And then, of course, this overtime was fantastic, too. Why are they still intentionally fouling down by 8 with 1.8 seconds? Like, you're just adding more time to this episode. But whatever. Rex Wright will hit the first shot, and that obviously fully puts this game over. But will he hit the second? Come on, Rex, with his crazy tattoo. I don't even know what that is of. Maybe like a wing or something. Rex will shoot, and he will miss the second, but that's the game as they try and throw up a crazy shot from way out. But we win 117-108. This game is tied, headed back to Dallas. Let's go. Big victory for the boys on home court. And if we could find a way to win 3 more games, we could find ourselves potentially in an NBA Finals. But obviously, winning in Dallas is not going to be easy. If we look at the box score, Everett Carroll, 26 points. We had Rex on 24. Semenko had 18. Evans on 17. Westbrook on 15. And then, yeah, Bishop is really good again on the glass. And he had 4 of his 6 points in overtime. So, shout out to him. Cooper Flagg's crazy on the rebounds, though, for them. 20 rebounds in this game. Goddamn. So, yeah, we got to watch out for Cooper. We got to watch out for him. All right, so the series is tied, headed back to Dallas. The other series is tied as well. Let's see if we can find a way to win this next one and take our series lead. If we can find a way to win any of these games in Dallas, that'd be absolutely huge. So let's get her done. It says give more minutes to Rex Wright, but I'm going to keep it the same, I think, for the time being. Let me just double check on this just to make sure. Yeah, I think it should be fine the way it is, because I think Everett Carroll is definitely much better at that point guard position. Rex is pretty solid in either position, so it doesn't really matter if we want to use him as a shooting guard or a point guard. So, all right, let's get to game 3 in Dallas, and let's see if we can find a way to take a series lead potentially. Let's move my face down here, and let's see what happens. First quarter underway. If this menu would stop opening up, which is friggin' annoying as hell. That's the one thing I hate about this game, like the menu opening up when you scroll up on the stick, because it's kind of annoying, especially with the controller drift. So far, we're getting some points early, which is good to see. Hopefully, we can build off some momentum from that overtime session, because that overtime was really solid. And so far, it's pretty much like that, but it's obviously still only like a 5-point game right now. Will the court open up a little bit here soon as they are clawing back into this game? It's now all of a sudden tied. And near the end of the first quarter, it will be a 28-25 game, as both teams pretty much back and forth near the end of that one. Lloyd dropped 6 points, so Lloyd was really good off the bench in 5 minutes. We had Rex on 5 points, same with Semenko and Westbrook and Carroll. So a lot of our starters are off to a good start this time around. Last time around, we had a couple guys be really quiet until later in the game, so that's good to see. Bishop's already on 2 points as well, and we had Goodwin on nothing so far. Evans has nothing in 2 minutes. Why did he only play 2 minutes in that first quarter? That has me concerned that he might have got injured. I really hope he didn't, because that would be absolutely detrimental. Carroll and Bridges on nothing, and Washburn, obviously, Olivero and all those guys are not playing, but hopefully Evans is okay. Because if Evans isn't okay, then we're going to have to hopefully find a way for the rest of this team to find a way to win. But Carroll is going to have to step up here big time. Same with Rex, Semenko, and Westbrook. Westbrook, if he's getting a lot more minutes than Evans, might be in literally Evans' spot. So I feel like Evans could have got hurt, which is not good. But it's a close game so far. Let's see what happens in the second quarter. See if we can build up a bigger lead than 3 points, potentially. Second quarter underway. Come on, boys. If Evans is hurt, we need some people to step up here, so just be careful. And if Evans does come back and play any more of this game, hopefully he could step up and get more points than he did in that first quarter. So far, we have over a 10-point lead, which is good. But obviously, Dallas has that offense that they can come back. They are really good at rebounding, which could also help with their defensive play. Final 5 minutes of the second quarter, we're still up by a lot, which is good. But obviously, it's still a close game by all means. And at the end of 2, are we almost there yet? So it looks like some teams are fouling. At the end of 2, it will be a, I guess technically it was not a 61-50 lead. We got 2 points there, so it was 59-50. So we had a 9-point lead at halftime, which is pretty solid again, but that's a good start to the game. Usually we have a bit weaker starts, but Lloyd's dropped 11 points in 9 minutes off the bench, so that's really good. What's also really good is Evans has played 14 minutes now, so I guess he didn't get hurt, which is a little bit nervous earlier on. But looks like he's starting to step up a little bit. He's still only on 6 points, which is kind of low for him. But obviously we know that he's usually a really good second half player. Bishop's already got 6 points as well. Same with Rex. So it looks like we're getting really good depth scoring in this game. Because everybody on our team has points except for Bridges. So this might be one of those kind of efforts that our entire team does really well. And not just our starters. And that's kind of what you need too, because if your starters aren't on the game, you need somebody on the bench to like rejuvenate the team basically. So hopefully we get everybody on this team firing, and hopefully our main starters could get going even more so to help us build up a bigger lead than 11 points. Anyways, let's see what happens. Third quarter, let's see if we could keep building on this. I know I didn't take a look at team comparison on the 3-ball or anything, but didn't want to do that yet, as this game is all of a sudden a 5-point game, so it's very close now at this point. I wonder how our 3-point percentage is in this game compared to last game, because last game was a little bit all over the place. I feel like it was better in overtime for sure, but when we were simulating, our 3-ball percentage was not good. So I don't know if jumping into games changes things a little bit, but so far we have a pretty big lead potentially going into the fourth quarter. And the answer is it's going to be yes. 93-77, so almost a 20-point lead. Our team has led in every single quarter up to this point in time. All we need is a good fourth quarter, and we could take a 2-1 series lead and a game in Dallas, more importantly. But so far, Rex is on 16. We have Westbrook on 14. Lloyd off the bench has been great. He's a big reason why we have this lead. 13 points in 11 minutes. Semenko on 12. Bishop's on 10. He's having a good game offensively, finally, building off that overtime. The other Carroll on 9 points. Goodwin on 8. Evans was only on 8 points. Damn. Evans is really slow right now. And the other Carroll's on 3. Bridges is on nothing, and then of course everybody else is not playing. So far looking good. Our team comparison, we're shooting actually better than they are from 3-point range right now, so that's probably the difference right there. Also our field goal percentage and also free throw percentage has been better, so that's good to see. We have a pretty big lead, but obviously we've seen teams come back in the fourth quarter before, so we got to be careful here not to let them to get back into this game and get a run going. So fourth quarter underway. Can we find a way to win this fourth quarter and take a game in Dallas? Because taking a game on the road would be huge for our confidence, and then maybe we could find a way to win the next one as well. We're up by 14 points. Let's go, boys. Keep building it up. Keep building it up. As they're trying to build back a lead here, or build back into this game, I should say, the Mavericks are. But we're trying to hold them off as much as possible here late in this one, as this menu keeps on opening up. We're only up by 12 with 2:24 left, but I think that should be pretty good. But never know. All right, up by 10, and this menu still keeps on opening up here. We're into the final minute. Looks like this game's over. And the answer is yes. 116-107. We win every single quarter except for the fourth. And we've taken a 2-1 series lead, a big win on the road. Like I said, that's a good thing for our mojo. Maybe if we find a way to win the next game in Dallas as well, we could potentially take the series on our home court. But 116-107. Semenko drops 24 points. He had a really good fourth quarter, I guess. But Dennis is coming alive again. Rex drops 20 points. Bishop on 15. Westbrook on 14. Lloyd on 13. Evans only on 10, but 6 and 4, which is good. But yeah, that's definitely one of his worst games of the playoffs, I think. Carroll only drops 9 points, which is kind of low compared to last game, but still 7 assists, so he was doing some good work in terms of passing. Goodwin on 8 and 7. That's nice. Carroll on 3, 2 and 1, and Bridges had nothing. So a good game for this team. We shot 52%. They shot 42%. 3-point percentage, they're actually a little bit better, 29 to our 26. So our 3-point percentage still hasn't been great, but we're finding ways to win. And in free throw percentage, ours was 79 to their 71. That's probably the difference in the game a little bit. And then aside from that, we had a little bit more bench points. We had 40 defensive rebounds. God damn, that's a lot. All right. Yeah, that's an interesting game. Our biggest lead was 16. They never had the lead the entire night. I like that. I like that. All right, well, that's a great game on the road. And Charlotte actually took a game on their home court as well. So Charlotte's up 2-1 on Philadelphia, which is rather surprising that they're actually able to play this good against a team like Philadelphia as well. Like, I'm actually kind of nervous about Charlotte if we end up playing them in the finals somehow, because they've knocked out the 2nd seed, the 3rd seed, and they're literally beating the 1st seed right now. That's kind of insane. But maybe they're going to run into a team like us and not have a good time. Honestly, I don't even know. But so far, so good. The minutes should be fine the way they are going into this next game. Carroll's getting a little bit tired, but I think it's okay. It does recommend me put Evans' minutes back down to 26 again, so maybe I should reduce his minutes so he's not going to get as tired, but I don't know who I would be giving more minutes to and all that. Like, it's recommending me give more minutes, I guess, to Lloyd. So I could do that, but I don't know if it's necessary. So we'll just keep it like this for the time being. If we lose this game, maybe we'll make some adjustments, but we're winning the series right now, so it's okay. All right, well, let's get to this next game. Like I said, we have a 2-1 series lead. Can we take a 3-1 series lead on the Mavericks? Let's see what happens here as we're still in Dallas. They do want us to adjust to the minutes on Evans, Wright, and Semenko, but I'm going to keep it the way it is for now going into this one. So, game number 4. Can we take another one in Dallas? Let's see what happens. First quarter underway. So far, our offense is off to a really flying start as we're getting a lot of points on all of our shots here early on, but now we've stopped a little bit. But still 12 points early on is nice to see. But obviously now the Mavericks are starting to get their offense going, and this game is only a 2-point game pretty much. Oh man, this is a weird first quarter. We had a huge lead, then they all of a sudden came back, and now it's back and forth here near the end of the first. Who will have the lead going into the second? As it's back and forth right now still. And the answer will be the Dallas Mavericks have a 1-point lead after 1. That's not a bad first quarter, but it sucks that they scored 30. Because early on, it looked like we were going to play really good defensively, but then we kind of stopped a little bit. So far, Evans is already on 11 points. He already has more points than he had all last game. So, you know, Evans is the type of player that really excels in the NBA. He has a bad game. He admits to it, and then he manages to put up a really good game. But he's on 11 points right now. If Evans has a strong game, he could potentially give our team a win. As you can see, the next closest afterwards was Semenko with only 4. So right now, Evans has been the main guy. We are getting some good depth scoring because literally everybody on our team almost has points, it looks like. Edward Carroll only played 1 minute in the quarter. He had nothing. Same with Bridges. But so far, Evans is off to a flying start. 3 for 3, 2 for 2 on 3-pointers. 3 for 4 on free throws. He's been hitting everything early on in this one. So let's see if he could have a big second quarter here as well and find a way to give our team that lead going into the next half as well. Let's see what happens. Second quarter underway. Come on, guys. Let's get back into this game. It's been a weird one so far. There we go. Still a 1-possession game pretty much. And now we have that lead back. Yeah, this is the type of game that is kind of similar to game 2 where we end up winning in overtime. So I'm honestly not too sure what to expect from this entire game. Like if it's going to be trading the lead back and forth all the way to the end of the fourth quarter, or if it's going to be one team that runs away eventually with that lead. Because that happens occasionally, right? Oh my goodness, stupid menu. And at the end of the second, it'll be 57-53 for them. So they outscore us again in the second. It is a 4-point game, so it's still pretty damn airtight. so far leading away. Evans has already got 20 points at halftime. God damn. Yeah, he's a beast. He's a beast. He's hit every single shot pretty much, except for 2. And then Wright's got 7 points as the next closest. So I really need the rest of the team to show up here too, because Evans is the reason why this game is even close. If Evans was only on like 4 points, we'd be down by so much. So we're lucky Evans has came to play, but Rex only on 7's not enough. Semenko on 6, Bishop on 6. Like, we need everybody to step up here. And so far, Carroll, Bishop, or not Bishop, yeah, Bishop maybe a little bit. Where's Bishop? Oh, Bishop's up there. I guess he's okay, but like so far all the starters have been pretty lackluster, aside from Evans. And then team comparison so far, we're 47%, they're 41%, surprisingly. We're worse on 3 points again, so we need to get our 3-point ball going a bit more again. And if free throws are similar, so if our 3-point shooting can improve at all in any of these games, that would help out a lot. So if any of those 3-point guys want to hit something, that would be nice. And if Evans wants to continue playing this great game and playing really good, hopefully that could give our team a win. But we got outscored in the first 2 quarters. We got to outscore them in these next 2 quarters if possible. So third quarter underway. Can we find a way to get some more points from everybody else on this team, not just Evans? Hopefully Evans still has a good quarter here as well, though. So far, not getting a ton of offense, but this game is still like a 1-possession game. Both teams matching each other point for point, so to speak. And now they have a little bit of a gap with a 6-point lead, but we're still trying to make sure that they don't get too far ahead of us. And at the end of the third, let's see what happens here at the end of the third. It will be a lead for the Mavericks by 5 points, as they outscore us again, only by 1 this time though. But it's still a very close game. We could still definitely win this one if we have a good fourth quarter, but so far, this game has been a bit of a tough one for our offense, except for, obviously, Mr. Evans, who's still only on 20 points. So he slowed down a lot in that second quarter, I guess, or third quarter. I guess he didn't play at all, hardly. But Rex has now at 18 points, so Rex stepped up to keep us close. Evans took a little bit of a back seat. And then Semenko and Bishop were on 8. Like, we aren't getting still a lot of offense from big players like Westbrook. So I need some people to start stepping up here. Still 2 off the bench. It's right now the Wright and Evans show. I feel like Wright and Evans are our best players almost on this team, in a way. Because Wright is really good at literally just passing around that ball. Evans is fun to watch all the time. But I really need the other guys that are making a lot of money on this team to step up here too. So let's see what happens in this fourth quarter. See if we can find a way to get that lead. We have not had the lead since early, I think, in the first, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, no, we have had the lead, I guess, technically, when it was back and forth for a bit. But we need to find a way to win this game. If we lose this game, obviously it's going to be a best of 3. If we win this game, though, we could be 1 win away from the finals. So let's have a good fourth quarter here and maybe do what we did to them in game 2. Let's see what happens. Fourth quarter underway. Come on, boys. Let's get some points on the board, and hopefully Evans has some clutch points in him. We take the lead, and now it's back and forth here in the fourth. Okay, this might be the time where we could take over this game, as our team's off to a good start offensively in it, but once again, they're matching us point for point. This is going to come down to the wire. We're building up a bit of a lead here. It's a 3-point game still, only with 3:55. Now it's a 5-point game. Let's go down to slow speed, because make it more crazy. Come on, guys. Come on. Oh, my goodness. This is a scary game, only being up by possession. Basically, we're up by 3 points with 2 minutes to go. Oh, my goodness. We need a big stoppage. They pull within 1 point with 1:46. Oh, man, we're already in 53 minutes this recording. I want to jump in almost and watch, but I almost don't. Let's see. Oh, we got some more big points there. I don't know who hit that, but that's big. Oh, my goodness. Stupid menu. Stop opening up. Goddamn. Let me stop the simulation. We're up by 4 points with 16 seconds. We might have this. We might have this. Let's see. 9 seconds. 2 seconds. And that's it. And I didn't mean to close that. God damn it. We win 113-109, I think it said. Yeah, 113-109. A big victory. I did not mean to close it right away, but I accidentally clicked 82 times. Cooper Flagg tried to do it all for his team, dropping 47 points. Next closest had 11, but lucky for us, we managed to beat them on the fact that Evans and Wright both dropped a total of 50 points combined. Semenko on 17 points. It looks like he had a great fourth quarter. Westbrook on 14. Carroll and Bishop had 10. And we're 1 win away from the finals, just like that. Wow. How the tides have turned from that overtime game. But yeah, right now, like I said, Cooper Flagg is the main reason why Dallas is as good as they are. Like, literally, this guy dropped 5 steals as well and 4 blocks. Like, he had over 10 points. He almost had 10 rebounds, almost 10 assists. And he was halfway to, like, a quadruple double. And then maybe even a quintuple one with a block and all that stuff. Like, it's insane how good he is. He also had 5 turnovers, though. But a big victory for our team. If you look at the comparison here, just because we didn't actually take a look at that, you could see we managed to find our 3-point shooting a lot in that fourth quarter. And that helped us in terms of that win for sure. I'll just scroll through this just so you guys can see this a little bit more in depth, considering I accidentally closed it. But a big victory on the road as we've taken both games in Dallas. And we head home 1 win away from the finals. The question is, can this team close them out? Can we close them out? We'll keep the minutes probably the same. Yeah, I think the minutes are fine the way they are, to be honest. And Philadelphia tied their series with Charlotte, so we're the only team up 3-1 right now. All right, this is a big game for this team and for this team's history. If we find a way to win this game, we move on to the finals. Let's find out if we could do it. Can we find ourselves in an NBA Finals, or will we be going to another game back in Dallas? Let's see what happens. First quarter underway. Come on, Ice Tigers. Let's get off to a good start again. And let's get our fans cheering. Maybe having our fans behind us will help us in this game. But so far, I've really liked how this team has responded since the early games in the series. We're definitely playing a lot better here than we were when we were against Dallas last year in the first round. Because that was a little bit of nerve-wracking times earlier in this franchise mode. So far, an a similar first quarter last game where both teams are kind of trading that lead a bit, or very close, I should say. And at the end of the first, it's going to be actually technically it was a 31-23 lead for them. So that's not ideal. We're not off to the best of starts offensively, but there's still a lot of basketball left to go. So far, we have Carroll on 8 points. Everybody else is 5 and below. So I need a lot of the other starters, still like Westbrook and all that, to step up here. And I'm guessing, yeah, our 3-point percentage actually was not bad. 3 for 12 is not the greatest. Theirs were 3 for 10. So both teams weren't the best at 3-point shooting that first quarter, but I really need the big guys to step up here potentially in the second quarter. So can we find a way to get back into this game? It's a 10-point lead for them, so right now, not a great start compared to some of the other games, but last game, we came back and we won. Can we do it again? Second quarter underway. Off to a good start offensively for us, but they're also getting some offense going too, which has them that big lead, but we're still trying to claw back into it. It's a 5-point game, a 2-point game. All right, we are clawing back, but it's still a lead for the Mavericks right now. Come on, boys. Just keep pushing, and then maybe we can make this a 1-point game or something like that. But it looks like this team is definitely playing a lot better in the second quarter than they were in the first. And at the end of the first half, oh man, we got the lead late. At the end of the first half, we have the lead 62-60 as we outscored them 39-29. That's a big second quarter. And this could be a high-scoring game potentially based on how it's going. But that's a really big answer. Really big answer. Evans already up to 21 points. I'm not sure how much of those came in that quarter, but Evans has been very big in these last few games. Very big. Carroll on 12 points. He's been really good. We have SnipeNScore on 9. Everybody else is below 9. But we're lucky that Evans has came to play again in this first half. Because once again, if he was putting up like 10 less points, we'd be down by a lot more. So the fact we're up by 2 is good. So far, we're shooting 35% from 3, which is better than them. So we're off to a good start in terms of actually hitting some 3-ball shots. But we got to be careful because they have been better at the free throw line. And they've had a lot more trips to the free throw line. So we got to be a bit more disciplined as the rest of this game goes on. All right. Well, let's see what happens in this third quarter. If we could build up a huge lead going into the fourth, that'd be a lot better. But if it's going to stay a close game like this, we might have a pretty historic looking play that potentially could win us this series. So we got to be mindful of stuff like that too. But third quarter underway. Let's build up a bigger lead than 2 points here, boys. Let's build up like a 20-point lead or something so I could be like, hey, that's a lot better. But so far, looks like both teams are staying pretty close to each other, as a lot of these games have been until like a few minutes left in the game, pretty much as some of them. We're building up a bit of a lead here. which is good, but still a lot of time left in the game that we don't want to say that we're going to win for sure. And it's close again as they're building back into these 2 possessions. And at the end of the third, it'll be a 3-point game. 87-84. 87-84. Still very close, but it's better than being up by 2, I guess. Evans has already got 30 points. God damn, Evans is playing great. He's probably going to, if we do get to the finals, he's definitely going to be the Western Conference MVP, I would assume. Carroll on 14 points, Semenko's on 9, Bishop's on 9, Goodwin's on 7. Rex has only got 7 as well. A lot of guys on 7, which is a lucky number for some people. So, good start. Good start. But obviously still a lot of ways to go. They're very good in the free throw line. They are literally 31 for 33. And that's why this game is so close. Like, they've had almost 20 more trips to the free throw line than us. So we got to be very, very careful not to let them have many trips to the free throw line in his 4th. We are much better in terms of field goal percentage, though. So this is going to come down to free throws versus field goals, I guess. But let's see what happens. 4th quarter, up by 3. Let's build up a bigger lead here, boys, because being up by 3 is a little nerve-wracking. Let's see what happens. So far, we're off to a good start, getting the first few points of the quarter, trying to build up a big lead. And they're still trying to stay right with us. Of course they are. Of course they are. 6-point game. 3-point game. Tie game of 4:18 left. Oh my goodness. We're going to go down to slow sim speed. Come on, guys. Don't let them have that lead. There we go. We get a couple points. We have that lead again. Oh, no. Now they have the lead with 2:43. God damn it. Come on. Can we get that lead back? They get the lead by 3 now with 2:11 left. Oh, I know this episode's going to be long, but we're going to jump in this just in case to see if our team could find a way to win this and win the series and move to the finals. So let's jump on in. I know it's going to make this episode well over an hour, but that's okay. That's okay. All right, here we go. Let's see if the boys have some late game heroics in them or if we're going to go to another game back in Dallas. But inbound, who is number 30? Is that the other Carroll? Yeah, that's the other Carroll. That's what I thought. So somebody might have already fouled out on our team. Bishop throws it in. Westbrook, look at the ball movement. Evans trying to break down their defense on Whitmore. Evans throws it back. Carroll. Westbrook will not shoot. We only have 12 seconds on the shot clock. Semenko won't shoot either, as they're on us defensively here. A great pass in. Evans will shoot, and he'll miss. That's a terrible miss at this point, but he had to get that up, I think, because there was not a lot of time left on the clock. Whitmore trying to break down our defense, and he'll get it. Damn, man, that puts them up by 5. Maybe I shouldn't have jumped in and watched, but we're still in this game. It's been back and forth. If we could find a way to win this, that'd be huge, though. Why did you put that up already, Carroll? You didn't need to really put that up. I feel like somebody definitely fouled out on our team. And Evans trying to play some good defense there. Oliver will shoot for 3. He'll miss. That's a huge miss from Mr. I think Sean Oliver, it said his name is. Evans will just stop up and take a 3 and he'll hit it. It's a 2-point game. That was a ballsy play. He literally just ran in and shot it. Nobody was covering him. And that makes it a 2-point game. We could still win this. We could still win this if we play good defensively here. Whitmore tries to break in. That's tie off the glass. We get the rebound. Evans now. Evans trying to do whatever he can for this team. Driving in. Still driving in. Look at that move. He puts it up and can't get it to go. Whitmore grabs the rebound. Maybe a bit of a rush attempt, but I don't mind it at times. Come on, get it away from him, guys. Play good defense here, and let's get a good play in the offensive zone. Cooper Flagg. Westbrook's right on him. They'll do the pick. Flagg will shoot it, and he won't hit it. I'm surprised he didn't hit that. Semenko has the rebound. He will run into the offensive zone, throws it to Evans as we look to try and get that lead or tie this game. Evans will shoot from way out, and he will not hit it. Why did he shoot it from way out? And then we have to intentionally foul as Westbrook takes that foul. That's his 4th personal foul. Oh, man, and the Mavericks will take a timeout. I don't know why the heck Evans shot it from way out there, but he probably should not have done that. There's definitely a lot more time to make an actual play on that, but he's a very shoot-first player, as we are going to intentionally foul them again, which means they will go to the free throw line, and we want them to obviously miss, hopefully, at least one of these. And he will not miss the first. Because last time when we played against LA and they had some free throws, those were the big, they had one big miss and that cost them the game. So Maybe we could get lucky here too if they miss. Let's see. Ryan will hit the second. We are down by 4. Goddamn, just because of that toss-up by Evans. I don't think he should have shot it there. I think he should have looked for more of a pass, but he's always a shoot-first guy. All right, we need a big three-pointer, and then we need to get that ball back. So, inbound, there's a pass to Semenko. Dennis, you got to put something up here, man. And he will not hit it. And we are not going to intentionally foul till then. And now we need to hope that they miss any of these shots. But it's unlikely that we are going to win this game. Unfortunately, Dallas had a good fourth quarter. And they got the lead. And now they have not looked back. That shot missed, surprisingly, from Whitmore. But, man, that means we're going to have to go to a game 6. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have jumped in because now this is obviously a little bit extra stuff added to it. But I wanted to make sure that I was not missing anything crazy. We're now down by 5 as he hit that second shot. Okay, we need to get a three-pointer quick here. Rex will throw it in. We need to shoot this up, Evans. You're not even going to shoot it? Wow, all right. Now he's going to shoot it, and he'll miss. All right, well, that's a tough loss as we head to a Game 6 back in Dallas, where we've won 2 games so far, but home court doesn't seem to matter. Evans dropped 33 in that game. Didn't have a great fourth quarter, I guess, but yeah, I need a little bit more still from... Oh, Rex had a 7, 7, and 7, but still, that needs to be a bit better, I feel like. And how good was Cooper Flagg against us in this one? He wasn't even leading their team, but he had 13 rebounds. All right. All right, that's a tough loss, but let's get to that next game because I don't want this episode being crazy long, but it already kind of is, so let's get this next game. We'll keep the team the same. As Philadelphia is now up on Charlotte, so Charlotte could get eliminated here potentially. And Philadelphia could be going for a three-peat. But we need to find a way to win in Dallas here, or else we go to a Game 7. Let's see what happens. First quarter, Game 6. Come on, guys. Don't let them get back into the series. We got to blow them completely out of the water here. Find that offensive game we've had all playoffs. And hopefully we play some good defensive ball as well. So far, we're playing some good defensive ball. We're up by over 10 points here early on. But obviously, still a lot of game to go. And now they're starting to get back into this game again because their offense has slowed down a lot. And at the end of the first, it is going to be maybe a tie game. Yeah, it's going to... I don't know. It's not going to be a tie game as they get a 1 point late and another one. They must have got a trip to the free throw line or something. But at the end of the first, we're down 30-28. We had a good lead for a while, and then they managed to rally back, which is not ideal. Rex has already dropped more points than he did all last game. Bishop's already on 8 points, surprisingly. But so far, nothing from Westbrook, which is not ideal, because obviously he's one of our better players. So it's a little bit of a slow start. Or actually, it was a good start, and then it was a slow end to that quarter. We need to have a better second quarter if we want to find a way to get that lead back. So second quarter underway. Come on, guys. There you go. We got that lead back, but obviously it's early in this one. And it could be down to the wire like last game, basically. There's been a lot of these type of games that have been pretty damn close on paper with them. So it has been a closer series than some of these games would actually say. All right, we're up by a lot of points here at this point in time. We're having a really good second quarter here, which could dictate the rest of the series potentially. And at halftime, we're up basically 70-48. So we outscored them 41-18 in that quarter. That might win us the game potentially as we're up by 20 in the second half right now. But Rex has got 18 points. Evans is on 11. We have Carroll and Bishop on 10 apiece as well. Semenko's got 7. Westbrook's on 5. Goodwin's on 5. Lloyd's on 2. Bridges is on 2. And Carroll is on absolutely nothing so far. But really good start for Rex, right? This is the big difference in this one. Like I said, he only had 7 points all last game, but this game he's been really good. And in team comparison so far, we're shooting 60 to their 43. 3-point percentage has been better for us, surprisingly. They're 1 for 19. So that's probably a big story in this game right now is their 3-point shooting. And then both of us are identical in shooting percentage from free throw. So far it's been a good game. But obviously we need to make sure that we keep our foot on the gas because if we slow down, that's when they could catch us. So third quarter underway. Let's see if we can keep on building on this big lead that we have right now. Or will the Mavericks come storming back? So far, looks like we're still keeping that good lead intact. But there is a lot of game to go. So we got to be careful not to give them any sort of momentum. And near the end of the third, still up by around 20 points, which is huge because obviously that makes it easier for us in the fourth. Final few minutes. Yeah, we're still holding on to that 20-point lead pretty much around, which is good. And yeah, we have over 100 points already. At the end of the third, it will be 106 to 85. They outscored us surprisingly 37-36, but we're still up by 21 points going into the fourth. So this should be pretty much a guaranteed win unless our team gets absolutely obliterated in the fourth quarter like we obliterated them in the second. Rex has got 23 points. We have Evans and Carroll on 18 apiece. Carroll's also already got 11 assists, so he's been great on passing. Semenko's got 17, so we're getting a lot of good stuff from our starters in this one. Bishop and Westbrook are on 10 apiece, and then our bench guys aren't doing as much, but our starters have come to play at the right time. All right, well, we are a quarter away from going to the NBA Finals. Can we find a way to get that done? Let's see what happens. Fourth quarter underway, and if we actually are going to be going to the finals, we're obviously going to jump in and watch our boys celebrate that they are going to the finals for the first time in franchise history. Because if they do go to the finals, they might be playing against a team that's won 2 straight championships. We're going to go down to slow speed here just because we're getting late in the game. But we're up by a lot of points at this point in time. I don't think there's any way for our team to collapse that much, but it could happen, but I don't think it's going to happen at this point, which is great. I like that at least we have a huge lead. And we're going to stop the sim around 2 minutes left in the quarter, so that way we can watch the last 2 minutes or so. But what a game. What a game. What a series, winning all these games in Dallas. As we're going to be up by 20, almost 30 points in the last few minutes. So we should pretty much be able to just wind down the clock at this point in time, which is great. So let's jump on in and let's watch this fourth quarter and see if our team can lock this one down, which they should probably. And this team will be going on to the finals for the first time in their history after last year's first round exit, which was a big disappointment, but they've definitely played a lot better on the road in this series against Dallas than I anticipated. I thought when we lost the first game that we were going to eventually lose some games in Dallas, but we've been a lot better of a road team than I predicted. Ryan will shoot up a 3, but he'll miss it. I guess that's the type of game it's been for Dallas, is they've been throwing up 3s, but they've not been hitting. Our team doesn't even really need to shoot the ball, but they're going to probably still do it anyways. We don't even really need our starters out there, technically. Goodwin will shoot a 3. He will miss that shot, but that's okay. Because there's no way our team's going to blow almost a 30-point advantage in the final minute and a half. That's just impossible. They have some of their bench guys out there like Behringer, so maybe some guys fouled out. I'm not too sure. They're going to cycle it around. Ryan's going to pump fake, try and drive in, throws it over to Whitmore. He'll shoot up a 3, and he'll miss. Nice rebound there for Evans. I wonder who is going to be the Western Conference MVP. I think it should be Evans, but Rex Wright's had some good games too. Like, it's really tough to tell with our team, but I feel like it's probably got to be Evans, and Carroll just shoots a nice 3, and that makes it a 31-point game. 25 points tonight for Carroll, 7 in this fourth quarter apparently, but that's a nice looking 3. Whitmore will drive in and put up a 2, and he'll miss it somehow. Goddamn, he was like wide open. But yeah, I'm excited to see what this team could do in the finals. But if we're playing the 76ers, it's going to be a really tough matchup. They're a really good defensive team, and they've won 2 in a row, going for a 3-peat. So we might be the team that could end their championship aspirations, but I'm not too sure if it's going to be them or Charlotte. If it's Charlotte, we should be maybe having a better chance to win, but I'm not too sure on what their roster looks like, so tough to say. But I'm pretty sure they still have Chip Parker, who's really good, so. All right, final few seconds left in this game. Whitmore will shoot a 3 there, and he'll hit that one just to make sure it's not a 30-point game, but we're going to run down the shot clock, and your Anchorage Ice Tigers will be going to the NBA Finals, where they'll meet up against the 76ers or the Hornets. First time in franchise history. Look at our boys, they're celebrating. They're so excited to go to the finals. That's really nice to see them jumping around and all that. Kind of actually really cool. I didn't know they'd actually have a celebration like that. But there you go, Western Conference champions for the first time. And then there is I think that's not the MVP award. That's the Western Conference Champion Award. I don't know if they'll give the MVP award in this cutscene thing too or not. If they do, then it's probably going to be Evans. But yep, there it is. Yeah, Western Conference MVP is going to be Evans. He's going to high-five the boys. Yeah, he definitely is probably the player I thought would get it. But honestly, there's a lot of good players on this team that could have won it too. But Evans has been the most consistent playoff performer on this roster. So that's a big win for our team, winning 3 games in Dallas on the road. And now we find ourselves in an NBA Finals, taking out Cooper Flagg. But Evans dropped 26 points. We had Carroll on 25, 7 and 13. Really good game for him. And then Rex had 24, Semenko on 19, Bishop on 15, Westbrook on 14. And our bench guys like Goodwin even had 11, but it was definitely the starters that showed up at the right time. Let's go. Let's freaking go. If I go to replay, does it actually show them with the trophies and stuff? Probably not, right? I just want to see about this for a second. I don't think it does. No, it doesn't. It just ends right near the end of the game. All right. So nice little victory there. And are we going to be playing the 76ers in the finals? We don't know yet. They're going to a game 7 with Charlotte. All right, that's going to be interesting. The fact that Charlotte's been able to force a game 7, though, with Philadelphia is pretty insane. Pretty insane. They've had the same route, technically, as Dallas, I guess, as last year. Because Dallas, I think, was a playing around team just like Charlotte was. But then Dallas went all the way to the conference finals and lost. So will Charlotte lose here? Will Charlotte lose here is the question. But first and foremost, let's take a look at our player stats. Actually, yeah, we'll briefly take a look at our player stats. This episode is very long, so I just want to end it kind of quicker. But so far, Evans has been our guy. 25.5 points per game. We have Rex on 19. Semenko on 16. Same with Westbrook. Carroll's basically right at 16 as well. Bishop on 11. Everybody else is 10 and below, but it's been a really good run for our team at this point. All right, so are we going to be facing off against Charlotte or Philly in the finals? The answer will be the Charlotte Hornets. Wow. Philadelphia has been knocked out in the conference finals after their back-to-back. So yeah, the Western Conference MVP we saw already was our boy Evans and Chip Parker for Charlotte. So both us and Charlotte were drafting quite high up early in this franchise mode, and now will be a matchup of our 2 teams in the finals. We should have this championship. We should, because the fact that they were a playing round team. But the fact that they knocked out a team that's won back-to-back championships is insane. And that's a little bit nerve-wracking. So final thing we got to do to end this episode is briefly just take a look at what Charlotte looks like, and then that'll be it for this episode. But this is Charlotte's starting rotation. Bryant Todd, Cedric Coward, Ronnie Hicks, Jules Nicholson. Oh yeah, that guy. He was drafted recently. There's Chip Parker. We got to watch out for these two. These two are beasts. And then Jackson Patton. They have a lot of centers, which is interesting. They also have Carter Bryant, O.J. O'Neal, Larry Wells, Argento Mancini, Will Murphy, Artem Markov, Pete Humphreys, Eric King, Leroy Samuels, Jeremy Palmer, and Devin Haywood. All right. That's an interesting looking team. Yeah, I don't really know what to think about them because their team state is listed as rebuilding too, which is kind of interesting. They have a weakness in perimeter defense. We have a strength in perimeter defense, but they have defensive IQ, 3-point shooting, and layups. That's interesting. I feel like we should definitely have this in the bag, but honestly, who knows? Do they have any injuries going into this series as well? Because that could obviously impact it a little bit. Where is the injuries? Oh, there it is. Oh, I know that's injury history. Where's team injuries? Or is that the area I need to look at? Actually, if I just go to the roster, I could take a look at it. But let's see. Yeah, they do have a little bit of an injury to Cedric Coward day-to-day with a high right ankle sprain, so we might not get to see this guy for a few games. But yeah, they have some really good players over there. Better than I anticipated. They're definitely a young roster as well, so I think this could be a pretty good matchup. I think it could be, but I think we should be able to beat them. But then again, they beat Philadelphia, so who really knows? So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Anchorage Ice Tigers Draft Category MyNBA. So in next episode, we'll take it to the NBA Finals against the Charlotte Hornets as we look to beat Chip Parker and hopefully get our first NBA title in the series. And then hopefully we can win some more after that as well. So I think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.